Okay, I was told half the audience is going to fall asleep when I say ETL and testing, but I think it's important. For example, data science. I want you to imagine what this data scientist is doing. Think about it. What's on her mind right now? You don't have to say it, but if you're thinking hyperparameterization, I'm going to say no. It's data. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard many data scientists jokingly refer to themselves as data janitors because 80% of their time is spent on data preparation. So anything to be done in data preparation actually helps data science a lot. Let me show you how this problem looks at Intel. We make hundreds of millions of chips each year. Every chip started as a piece of silicon on one side of the world and traveled the world as it got manufactured, and then it ended up on your laptop. As it got manufactured, a lot of data was collected on it. We test these most complex devices that we create and collect a lot of data on them. So that's one problem, the sheer volume of the data. It's showing up in various places around the world. That's another problem that the data scientist is going to face. But there's also the problem of the identity of each chip. Much like you have, each person could be identified here by the social security number. Same thing goes for chip. And then over there by the name and the address, and then maybe the flight number and the seat number. All these different identities make it difficult for the data scientist to arbitrarily choose observations and attributes. So a lot of that integration actually happens with this ETL, extraction, transformation, and loading, into our engineering data warehouse, which serves thousands of engineers. It's great, but the world doesn't stop for it. We have to keep revising this process because Intel always keeps coming up with new technologies and new products. New formats of data are popping up because we use a new supplier for the tool that touches the chip. So we have to keep making these agile releases. And we try to make these releases as quickly as possible to benefit the data scientist. And that's great. Well, here's what keeps me awake. Can you see the problem with this? This statement could be in the code that's going into the release this week. Do you see the problem? Yes, okay. It's missing this colon. And anytime this statement gets executed, it's going to delete a lot of data. So maybe that's not a problem for a small database, but if you have 100 terabyte in the database and a defect like this deletes it, your only recourse might be to take days to restore not just that one table, but the entire hundreds of terabytes of data into this one integrated database system. So that clearly calls for the reliable testing. But the market and the industry does not have a industry-wide solution or a good solution that's widely used. And there surely is a lot of advice out there, but not a lot of reports of people actually doing it in practice, doing the agile releases of the code like this that could actually end up having a serious defect. So I don't want to harm my corporation, I don't want to harm my enterprise, and I'm sure neither of you do. So we came up with our solution to this problem, and I think it's useful to talk about it with you guys because I think it's a generic solution that could help in other places. So when I see a report coming out of my tool and there's a lot of red ink on it, that's telling me something's different. Something's different in this version output from what it was output before. And it was this delete statement that in this case deleted these 4 rows, and now I got the red ink to remind me that it's a problem. So that's what we use, this tool called 1TH, and we've used it for years now. We made weekly and bi-weekly releases to our integrated data warehouse, always modifying the ETL code, and we've had really good success with it. There's a poster. I'll be out there. Talk to me more if you're interested. Thanks.